This is the third video from the beautiful Arch of Albandera, or the Arco de Albandera. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the progression of study. A lot of adult students particularly are asking questions about when or how do I do vibrato, how do I play in third position, and my biggest piece of advice for you is not to go too fast. You need to understand the basics just like any other subject. And maybe you don't remember how long you spent learning the basics of addition and subtraction in math before you went on to multiplication and division, but it was a couple of years, right? Just to get the concept of how math works. So I would really advise that you stay in first position until you can reliably get your ringing tones in tune, which would be any note that matches an open string. So all of your E's, all of your D's, all of your G's, your E's, whether it's a fourth finger, a first, doesn't matter. And you can hear how my violin is really ringing when I play those tones. Whereas if I play a B without a B string, it doesn't ring as much because it doesn't have an open string helping it. So from those ringing tones, you build your finger patterns and you learn that your high twos touch three, but your low twos touch one. So here's my ringing tone, so I touch, and that's how I get my non-ringing tone in tune. There's another ringing tone. So when your pitch is strong in first position, and you understand the geography of the fingerboard, which is to say which notes are where on what string, then you can start to think about moving your hand around into other positions, as long as you can make a beautiful sound, because we have to develop the skill of the bow as well as the skill of the violin. So with most of our beginners, we have exercises that just work on tone without the involvement of the left hand. Nice staccato, little bow, strong forte sound, as well as work that develops the left hand. You really have to work on them separately if you want them to sound good together. There's my ringing tone. And then short, small bows are the easiest to make good tone on. So then the next would be to make good tone on bigger bows. I'm still not using the whole bow because it's actually really hard to control the bow from the frog to the tip to have a constant sound. So I would want to get to where I could make that sound with long bows. And that's a lot of practice, that's a lot of repetition. It's going to take a long time to learn about the relationship between the arm and the wrist and the hand, and how you create that beautiful sound even on a long bow. So then when you can do that, then you might want to add vibrato, because vibrato can only enhance the sound you're making. So if you're in tune with a beautiful tone, then vibrato sounds beautiful. But if you're out of tune with a scratchy sound, vibrato doesn't do anything to help that. It's still out of tune and it's still scratchy even though you added vibrato. So my advice is get your foundations first, find a good teacher to study with, and don't be in a rush for the more advanced techniques, because you'll really just end up being frustrated, and what's the point? Music is for joy. Happy practicing.